Hey, so today we're going to be looking at my track No More Words.
Now there's no more words to say and no more games to play.
Which was written about a very good friend of mine who had had a vasectomy. And I went round to see him on that day and he was lying on the sofa in agony and unfortunately had caught a cough on the same day that he'd had his vasectomy procedure. So was coughing and was in a lot of pain, and so the track No More Words was written about that. But the main lesson that I wanted to get across for you bass players and for drummers actually is that it's really, on a tune like this, it's so nice as a bass player to just lock in with the kick drum.
Do you see all of
And on this tune, you've just got that boom, 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 boom. And so just to lock in with that, boom, 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 is great. It's really a massive part of our role as a bass player. It's really foundational to the music. So you're laying a really good kind of solid rhythmic and melodic bed, and it's just really fun to play. So this whole tune is just bass and drums just working in sync, but because it's a kind of slower ballad, it gives you space to really concentrate on every note and play out every note. Now that's kind of the first part, but the second part is about tone and the way I'm kind of playing it and what I'm doing. So I've brought out my lovely, as you can see, now this is a 77 P bass, and it's great. I've got some foam in the bridge cover here, which is kind of deadening things a bit. These strings are really old. I don't know what they are. I've had the bass for a while, and these were on it when I got it. And I've kept them. They're round wounds, but they're dead. They're super dead. And I think they sound great. Well, especially for this kind of thing. And so what is really important with sound and tone is that you can get so much, even with this dead bass with really old strings on it. And as basses go, this is such a simple setup. You've got one pickup, a volume and a tone control. That's it. That's all the bass is. So you can get so many different tones out of it because it's got the foam in the mute. It is quite dead, but it's got such a natural kind of woody tone to it. It's lovely. So the kind of tones that I'm looking at, that I'm playing with this song, is that I'm playing with my thumb resting on the neck here and getting a really warm, which is lovely. I really like that. It's kind of, I don't play double bass, but there's something lovely about a double bass because it's got this kind of woody tone. It's got a bit of attack on it, but it's got that kind of low resonance, which this kind of has. And just by moving our right hand, we can completely change the tone of that. Now, what you have to remember as a musician is this is a very simple, this is like on so many forums and websites and everything, this is hallowed as being an incredible instrument. Yeah, it's good. It's not bad, but it's not a great era for Fender. It's actually a pretty bad era for Fender, actually. And these weren't particularly brilliantly built. They're sort of handmade, bit wonky, bit kind of, well, they were machined, but they're not the best, is what I'm trying to say. And it's just a bit of wood with some strings on it, and every bass player that plays this particular bass will get a different tone out of it because actually we're the sound, right? So this is a bit of wood with some strings on it. I'm the music, I'm the sound. What you're hearing is my voice. It's not this. This is dead, it has no life to it, right? So we can create different tones out of this by good technique and by just varying pressure of how hard we play notes and where we play notes. So for this track, I'm playing here, right? I've got the tone is fully open, so fully on. Now, if I was to move up to the 12th fret and play here, that's a different tone again. If I were to move down to where I was. If I play the same thing again, but with my right hand on the pickup, hear how the attack comes in a bit more. Then right by the bridge. Right? So you can hear that the attack of the note is changing, the attack of the transient. So actually, if you close your eyes and you've got headphones on, because of the transient, now listen to this. The transient is quieter and it actually feels like the bass is getting further away. So if I play this, it feels like the bass is close. If I play here, it feels like it's moved back in the mix, which is kind of what a compressor can do to the top of the note, to the transient of the note. So the more you kind of define the front end of the note, the closer it will appear to you. So if I want to sit back in the mix, I'm not talking about back in the beat, but the back of the mix, I can, and that will sound really cool. And so I've got those 4 different tones just from playing in 4 different places. That's without buying any gear. I've not changed any strings, I've not bought any pedals, I've not changed my cables, I've not done anything. I've just spent a couple of minutes with the instrument, exploring the instrument rather than reading forums. Right, now we've got a tone control which takes off all that attack. Right? So let's try it now with those 4 places with the tone on. You get a kind of, you're really hearing that kind of lower mids, like 300-y kind of areas poking out more because all that top end is taken off. And to the pickup. Right to the bridge. So there's just 8 different types of tone variant just from where I'm putting my hand and just having the tone on or off. So that's a really kind of powerful tool, actually, if you think that you can kind of change where you feel in the mix, whether you're right at the front of it or whether you're right back is dependent on the transient of the note. And so you can change we can go from this right at the front of the mix to right at the back with where we're placing our right hand on our tone control. So that's a very cool, very cool little trick, lesson, whatever. So yeah, so on your next recording session, think about where you want the bass to be played. Think about, there's so many variables to creating a great bass part, but this is just yet another one to think about. So have fun looking in with the drums, have fun kind of creating tones and all that jazz, as they say. And as always, the backing track for this track is available on my website, jimmyclark.com, and so is all the sheet music, so go and check that out. And I will see you very soon for another lesson from the International Bass Station. See you soon.